In our ongoing study of the Word of God, we'll now discuss this gospel in the stars business. Now, Richard made me watch this guy's video, and I'll honestly tell you, I did not sit there throughout the whole hour and a half or whatever this guy was blabbing about. I just, jumped here and there and listened to a few things and laughed and said, okay, time to reveal the truth here. So, let's go to Revelation 12:1, where this guy starts off with, okay? And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. Now, this guy goes on next to show me maps of the constellations with Virgo and Leo and Jupiter passing through, and Jupiter looking like a birth of some kind of, some kind of freak of nature out there in space. But what we must remember here is that the symbol is seen in heaven, but the thing symbolized is on earth. Okay? And it's not Mary, it's not Jesus, it's the sun-clothed woman simply represents national Israel. And the child represents the 144,000 born-again Jews during the time of the first part of the 7-year tribulation period. And you can clearly read that in Revelation 12:6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,203 score days, which is 3.5 years. Notice, okay, she fled, but she didn't take the child with her. Why? For the child was caught up, okay, or as I've said before, raptured to heaven. And just reading 12:5 says, and she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. So the born-again Jews are now in heaven, and she's left down here to fend for herself. Okay? Now, it's nice that this guy showed me Virgo and Leo and Jupiter and all these other constellations, but yet, did this guy ever read Revelation 12:3? I don't think so, because then he would have to prove with me some more constellations. For there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. Oh boy, that's going to be a doozy, eh? Okay, so let's take a look at this verse one more time. And there appeared another wonder, or sign, in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads, and 10 horns, 7 heads, and 7 crowns upon his heads. That's a lot to take in. Okay, now let's clarify this. The 7 heads are a symbol of the 7 world empires that preceded the kingdom of the Antichrist, which is the 8th. Okay, so 7 heads are a symbol of the 7 world empires that precede the kingdom of the Antichrist, which is the 8th. The 10 horns are not crowned, while those on the beast in Revelation 13:1, okay, symbolizing his power over the 10 kingdoms, will be given to the beast. Okay, and if we take a look at Revelation 13:1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 heads, 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns. There you go. And upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Okay, so let's go back here. So the 7 heads are crowns symbolizing Lucifer's rule, okay, over the 7 preceding kingdoms. Okay. But on the 8th kingdom, he's giving his power over to the Antichrist. Okay, and that's clearly stated afterwards in Revelation, but let's just keep going at this here. Okay? So, if this guy, his gospel in the stars, and his Leos, and then his Virgos, and his Jupiters, had to make any relevance to this, okay, then he also should have told me, well, look in the stars to see snakes and dragons and heads and horns and crowns, but yet fully omitted. So there's no truth in what this guy is saying. Simply read and understand what the Bible's saying. Okay, now I've mentioned to you 10 horns, and I've also mentioned this before in Revelation 12 sign. And I told you that in Daniel 7:24 it clearly states, okay, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kingdoms that shall arise. Another shall rise after them. That's the Antichrist guy. And he shall be diverse from the first, and shall subdue 3 kings. Okay, so this guy's going to take down 3 of the 10, and the rest are going to give him their power. Okay, well, I'm going to give him the power. And in Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given to him into his hands until a time and time and time, dividing a time. There you go, that's another 3.5 years. Okay, so Revelation 12:1 cannot take place at the beginning of the tribulation period. It takes place just at the end of the first 3.5 years. And then after the first 3.5 years, then comes the second part. Okay? Which means that these videos that Richard makes me watch are boring and unbiblical and just wasting my time. Sorry, Richard, but I had to mention that. Thank you.